video starts now! Hi guys, it's Nick from Kicking Goals, and in this video today I'm going to review my round 23 footy tips, and I'm also going to do my round 24 footy tips. So let's get underway. And oh boy, what a round it has been. You know, there was a few upsets during the round, and a few teams got some unexpected wins. It was also a good weekend by my Blues as well. We finally got a win after 3 losses in a row, and we won by 65 points comfortably against West Coast. Like, I didn't expect that, considering all the injuries we had. So let's just get underway with last week's tips. And last week's tips, I've got 6 out of 9. So better than last week, but still not great. I'm hoping to come home in the last round with a bang, maybe at least 7, 8 or 9 tips to finish off the home and away season. Would be good if I can get a 9 out of 9 to finish off. Let's see. In my tipping comp, I'm back in the lead now. And the 2 people that got 7 out of 9 were Footy and Cousin Dupree. So well done guys for getting 7 out of 9. So this is the last round before the finals, and the top 8 is shaking up now. I'm going to tell you who I'm tipping. For the first game is between Melbourne and Collingwood. Both teams had good wins on the weekend. Melbourne had a great win on the road against the Suns. It's their last away game for the season, and Melbourne, well, they're just playing for pride, you know, because they're not making finals this year. Ben Brown's just announced his retirement. Yeah, so they're hoping to end the season off in style against Collingwood. And with Collingwood, well, they were 33 points down against Brisbane. They looked dead. They looked gone. But with Brew McCurry kicking the match-winning goal in the end, and Lockie Schultz being huge in the last quarter, well, Collingwood, well, people reckon that their season's still alive just, but I don't know about that. I don't think they can defend for their premiership this year, Collingwood. So I'm going to tip them, but I'm going to tip Collingwood to win by 11 points in this game. I just don't think they'll make the finals, but they'll finish their season off in style though. Now the next match is between Geelong and West Coast. Geelong had a disappointing loss against St Kilda. Their top 2 hopes are all gone now. They can't make the top 2 now. Because of that, St Kilda came from 33 points down and ran all over them in the end. Geelong normally lose these crucial matches near the end of the year. That St Kilda did them to them 2 years in a row. Can you believe it? At this time last year, St Kilda did it to them. So that they've done it again to Geelong. And West Coast, well, they had a 65-point loss to Carlton. Wasn't the way to farewell Andrew Gaff, because he announced his retirement as well. But he played a good game, even though in his last game he had 25 touches, Andrew Gaff. He had a good career, and yeah, wish him all the best. West Coast, well, they just weren't up to it yesterday. They only kicked 4 goals for the whole entire game. I watched the game obviously because I was watching Carlton, and West Coast just weren't up to it. So Geelong really should bounce back here, and I reckon they'll win by 89 points. Now the third match is between Richmond and Gold Coast. Richmond had a big loss against Hawthorn. Like Hawthorn, they started off really well and they never looked back, keeping Richmond really quiet. Like Richmond kicked the first goal of the game, then after that Hawthorn just went bang bang bang, and yeah, Richmond came back a little bit, but then Hawthorn got away again, and yeah, because Richmond, they conceded 9 goals in the first quarter on the weekend, and yeah, it's like when I first watched footy, it was like the Richmond of old, because Richmond were down the bottom of the ladder when I first watched footy back in 2009, and yeah, so they're on the rebuild, Richmond. And with Gold Coast, well, they had a disappointing loss against Melbourne on the weekend. They really should have won that, but I reckon they'll beat Richmond for sure, because Richmond, they've only had 2 wins for the season, and Gold Coast are bound to beat them, surely, to end their season on a good note. Richmond are playing for Dusty Martin. He'll be doing a farewell lap of honour, Dusty Martin, because he's retiring as well. So, but I just reckon Gold Coast will get up, and I'm going to tip them to win by 24 points. 4 goals exactly. Now, match number 4 is between Hawthorn and North Melbourne in Tasmania. Hawthorn had a big win over Richmond. Their only concern is Will Day had a shoulder injury during the game, so that's a big blow for them. But I'm hoping that for them that they'll have players to cover for him, because that could be crucial for the Hawks going to finals. But other than that, they kicked 9 goals in the opening quarter, which was crazy. Then they never looked back. After that, they just went a bit quiet, but they still won comfortably in the end by around 60 points or so. They let Richmond back in the contests a bit. They kicked like 4 or 5 goals in a row, Richmond, but then yeah, Hawthorn were just too strong in the end, and I just reckon they're the real deal, Hawthorn. North Melbourne, well, they had a disappointing 97-point loss against the Western Bulldogs. They started off alright at the start of the game, but then once the game went on, it's just, they always lose the plot, North Melbourne. So Hawthorn, I'm going to tip them here. North Melbourne will put on a good effort, but Hawthorn, I reckon, I'm going to tip them to win by 14 points, and they'll seal their spot in the finals for the first time since 2018. So match number 5 is between Brisbane and Essendon. Brisbane, they've choked 2 weeks in a row now. Not acceptable. Costing them a top 2 spot, maybe even a top 4 spot. By the looks of things, they almost could have finished on top of the ladder if they didn't lose those 2 games. But I don't think they'll lose against Essendon though, because Essendon, they've got nothing to play for now, because Essendon, they're just a joke of a team. They always disappoint. And with Essendon, well, they're trying to win for Dyson Heppell to end their season off on a positive note, because Dyson Heppell's also retiring. There's a few retirees going on the last few days, but Brisbane, I reckon they'll be too strong, and they'll finish their home and away season off in style by 26 points, I reckon, and they'll get some confidence into the finals. Alright, the 6th match is between Sydney and Adelaide. Sydney are coming off a comfortable 48-point win over Essendon. They're the minor premiers now, so they won't lose top spot. They're officially the minor premiers for 2024. And the Adelaide Crows, well, they lost by 28 points in the showdown against Port Adelaide. They've got a few injuries at the moment, Adelaide. They're trying to play for pride. to end their season off in a good note, but I don't see that happening. I think Sydney will be too good, and they'll win by 36 points. Now the 7th match is between the Western Bulldogs and the GWS Giants. Both teams are winners for this round, and the Western Bulldogs are trying to end their home and away season with a win, so they can confirm that spot in the finals. They had a comfortable 97-point win over North Melbourne. They weren't losing that. Sam Darcy kicked 7 goals. He was brilliant. Bontempelli was good in the midfield. And with GWS, Jesse Hogan kicked 6 goals and 4 behinds. He could have kicked 10 goals or so. But I think he's won the Coleman medal now because he's 10 goals in front of Charlie Curnow, because Charlie didn't play on the weekend. But yeah, so Jesse Hogan will be the Coleman medal winner, you'd suspect. So I reckon GWS will win this, so they can maybe fight for that top 2 spot, and I reckon they'll win by 48 points. Match number 8 is between Carlton and St Kilda. Carlton, well, with all the injuries they've had recently, they've made a big statement and they've come out to play, and they've won by 65 points against West Coast in Perth. It was a great interstate win for them, and it was a great game to watch, because I've been suffering recently watching the Blues for the last 3 weeks losing, but I'm glad we've responded, and with our young players like Binns and Moore and Lord coming in and having an impact. 2 of them are debutants, Moore and Lord. They both played well. Moore played alright as the sub. He kicked a nice world-class soccer goal, and Lord did well in the back line. And Binns, well, he kicked a really nice goal from 50 metres. It was his first goal. So they all get their first wins as a Blue. And Cripps clearly best on ground with 35 touches. Surely he's on his way to a second Brownlow now. I'd be pissed off if he doesn't get that second Brownlow. George Hewitt was fantastic again. He had his best game for the Blues, I reckon, with 35 touches. Kennedy was good. My name is Newman was good. And Brody Kemp went up forward, kicked 4 goals. He was brilliant. He took a screamer. It was just happy days for Carlton. And St Kilda, they had a brilliant win against Geelong. They came back from 33 points down. They're playing for pride now, St Kilda. Jack Higgins played well. He kicked 3 goals. Jack Still also played well. Marshall played well. Katamini played well. St Kilda, next year, they could be alright next year, St Kilda. Having a strong finish to the season, but I'm hoping Carlton can win this so we can play in the finals, and I'm going to tip us to win by 17 points. Now the final match of the home and away season is between Fremantle and Port Adelaide. Fremantle, they've been disappointing, Fremantle. They were second on the ladder at one stage, and now they've slipped down to 9th, which was very disappointing of them. They've meant to be a top 4 side this year, but I don't think they're up to it. They lost by 8 points against GWS on the weekend, and Port Adelaide, they had a good win over their arch rivals, the Crows, in their showdown, with Zach Butters winning the showdown medal and getting 42 touches and a goal, breaking the record of disposals in the showdown. He played really well. It will be a really close game. I mean, Fremantle are trying to win to try and play in finals, and Port Adelaide are trying to win to steal their top 2 spot. So I'm going to tip Port Adelaide to win by 3 points here. So thank you all for watching this video, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.